Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy. For today, I wanted to talk to you guys about one of the amazing new features that we got this month as a part of update 7.1. And I think for the majority of the player base, it goes without saying that this feature is the best thing that came with the update. I know the Blackwater characters are all fantastic in their own way. Seeing Supergiant and, most importantly for me anyways, Cull Obsidian, right, who was hailed as the weakest member of the Blackwater for the longest time, right, even before Supergiant, because when Supergiant first came out, she was better than this guy. Right, this guy was just always trash. At least Supergiant was ABX meta at one point, and she could very well be ABX meta again. More testing needs to be done to confirm that. All right, but the Blackwater characters, they're all fantastic in their own way. I am very much so looking forward to seeing what this man actually does when he gets his uniform and his tier 3, which is what I'm assuming he's going to get. If you guys want to see a video where I go in detail and rank these guys currently where they are and leave him out until he gets his uniform, let me know. I could definitely do that because I've been seeing some comments asking me what my thoughts are on them. So with that being said, let's talk about the feature that I want to talk about today, because I think this is the best part of the update. And it's the crafting system. Believe it or not, this has actually made the game infinitely easier. Infinitely easier, whether you are pay to play, free to play. This feature right here is about to help you out a lot. For me, I know it used to take a long time. I'm talking like maybe a month to farm enough cards to craft one card. It takes 36 star cards to turn these gold stars into either red, blue, or green stars. Just keep that in mind. It takes 30 of those, which means if you have to do that 5 times, that's 5 months, even if you're grinding hard and if you are buying some of the packs that usually gives cards. This one doesn't, right? But usually when they drop an update, they bring out a box, and in there you have a chance of getting a 5 or a 6 star card. So even if you were buying those and you were farming dispatch overnight, all night, every night, right? And playing story mode to possibly get more cards, not this one, actually it's this one, right? It would still take you, on average, about a month to come up with enough cards, right? Because most of the time you get a 5 star card from here, you don't actually get the premium card or the 6 star card, and sometimes you get like TCP or what have you, right? So this thing right here, this crafting feature, has made it so that now you can get minimum 1 6 star card every single day. That's not counting all of the other ways that you could get cards before. Before this, the best way to get cards was to actually come in here and then spend all of your freaking dimension tokens on this, hoping that you would get cards. And most of the times, this is the best it would look. You would get a couple 4 star cards, but most of the time, this is what you get. You get 1s and 2s. These 1s and 2s, you get that 100 times, you barely scrape by enough to get one mythic card. And it's costing you almost 3,000 tokens a pop, which is absolutely insane. So this new feature where you can absolutely farm like 1 guaranteed mythic card a day without trying is absolutely insane. And it actually fixed one of the biggest complaint that players ever had with Marvel Future Fight. So let's talk about it, right? Because now you can farm about 800 feathers. About 800 feathers per day. If you're doing all of these mutant missions that comes with the epic quests, whether it's Mutual Enemy, The Big Twin, Veiled Secrets, all of these missions, if you're doing that and then you jump into World Boss, and for whatever reason, I don't know, Cable is your World Boss of the day, and if you don't want to re-roll, you can actually play these mutant bosses and walk away with anywhere from about 375 to about 400 feathers. And then you could easily jump into the shop right here. So let's see what this does. Because on average, this should give you about 1, maybe 2 6-star cards. This one right here not looking too hot. Okay, so now we jump over here, and then wow. So I already got 2 mythic cards. 2 mythic cards. So basically, just doing my war boss of the day as the mutant bosses could net me 2 mythic cards minimum per day. Minimum 2 per day. Now, just in case you guys think for some reason, oh, I had some cards here like sitting around, let me just use them all up. By the way, I'll talk to you guys about what is actually worth buying in this shop now, or exchanging for in the shop, I should say, right? Because even though this thing is an amazing like quality of life change that will change the game forever for free to play, new players, pay to play, right? There's still some stuff in here that I would not recommend that you spend your stuff on, right? All right, so we did four multis. Let's go back and let's see what we got out of that. Wow, it's absolutely insane. So like, if I wanted to, you mean to tell me that I could get 5 mythic cards per day? Again, keep in mind, before, getting 30 cards a month, 36-star cards a month was difficult. It was hard to do, right? It was hard to do. Even if you were no-lifing dispatch and buying some of the cards, coming up with 30 a month was hard to do. You mean to tell me that now I can get 150 cards a month if I just farm my feathers? Like, that's crazy, bro. That's actually crazy. Like, people usually would tell you, yo, turn off Veil Secrets, turn off the Big Twin, right? Don't do these missions because they don't drop bios from actually running them, and it was a waste of energy, especially if your feathers were always capped out. However, now with this new feature, guess what? That whole scrap the cap and get rid of the cap thing, none of that even matters no more. None of that actually matters no more, right? Because you should never be at the cap. Every time you hit 5,000 feathers, spend some of your feathers. Spend some of your feathers rolling 4 cards. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that makes it even better, right? Let's jump back into the crafting thing here. You can actually change this to use the m-chron crystals as well. You don't just have to use feathers. So like the feathers, you use these things, right? You use these for tier 2ing your mutants. You use them on their gears to get their gears up to 25. Let me go to a mutant that I don't have a gear 25 yet, just for an example. I think I have you. I don't think I have you at gear 25, right? So the feathers get used way more often than the m-chron crystals, right? So ideally, as soon as you hit like 5,000-6,000 on your m-chron crystals, you should be in here, bro, burning these things up, trying to get more cards. In 1 month, you can get 150 cards. I'm telling you, it's actually crazy. You can farm out dispatch, whether it's 9-1 or 8-1. 8-1 is relatively easy. You can come in here and you can farm this thing overnight to burn up your excess energy. And you can also play story to get yourself some extra cards there. There should be no one in the game that's not farming cards to get their set crafted. Still to this day, I see people saying, yo, I don't have any cards crafted. Now is the time. Now is the time. Everything you need to get your set crafted, to get the additional all attack, to get the pierce, the extra HP, the dodge, and all the additional stats that come with it, you should be crafting your set immediately. Immediately. Because now you have all the things you need. You play giant boss raid every single day. You get 500 cubes. And then from there, you farm your feathers. And then you craft more cards. And even if you think your set is done, it's not done. Because even though I have these cards, right? These ones over here. These 3 with blue stars on it. The quality on them could be worked on. And if there's one thing you should know in this game, rerolling cards is one of the hardest, most painful things you will ever have to do. I had this card in my set for about 5 years and I could never get it to roll quality 7 with the attack proc. Ever. I could never get it to roll quality 7 with the attack proc. I started the game with this card, and the game evolved to the point where premium cards were the new meta, and I never, after 5 years of trying, got it to be the perfect card. Infinite rerolls is a thing in this game, so you could never have too many cards. So guys, get to farming. I'm telling you, this feature right here speeds things up expeditiously. To be able to go from struggling to get 30 cards a month to 150 cards a month relatively easily is absolutely insane. It is insane, right? Because this now saves me a ton of money because I don't have to come into the shop here and buy these chests hoping to get cards, right? Because this one right here, this month doesn't have cards in there. Usually I would buy them to get cards to try and like re-roll my main cards to get better stats. Now I can get my cards for free. Man, this is absolutely amazing. Okay, so let me talk to you guys ever so briefly about the rest of the shop here, because there are some good things in here, but the best thing is over here, so we wanted to get to that first. So on the first page here, if you're a new player, the only two things you want to spend your tokens and your gold. The only two things you want to spend gold on is actually the X genes, because in here there's a couple top tier characters. Okay, Cyclops is a top tier leader and support. He's one of the best in the game. You can farm him from the tracking missions for Rise of X-Men, but you could get some extra bios here to rank up his uniform. Storm, with her newest uniform, is a decent support for Thor or Beta Ray Bill. Keep that in mind. Rogue is one of the best characters in the game for War Boss Legend and for farming dispatch missions. So you could just basically come in here, get some extra bios to rank up her uniform or just to rank up the character faster. And then you have access to her. You go ahead and get her to tier 3 and you get yourself a character that can help you farm more cards via dispatch missions. Okay. As for the rest of these characters, Kid Omega is the next best thing. If you're a new player, free-to-play player, Kid Omega is going to help you a lot. Stage 34 of Shadowland requires that you use somebody with the Phoenix Force tag, and he's a low-cost, very, very good option. Okay. As for the rest of the shop, the only other biometric that you should be going after in here is Universal, and more specifically, Blue Marvel, Nova, and Ant-Man. These characters, when they came to the game, they broke the game and they basically held the title of the best characters in the game for almost a full year, and then the game evolved around them and they've been left behind. Their time is coming, believe me, and when they come back, they will break the game again. There's a couple things in life that they're guaranteed. One is, from the moment you were born, you are destined to die. It's facts. Two is, if you don't pay your taxes, the government will find you. And three, as sure as the sun will shine tomorrow, the ultimates will rise again. Okay, next. Over here, the only things that is even worth looking at, in my opinion, is possibly Black Antimatter. If you were desperate. But besides that, I would not do any kind of exchange on this page. It's just not worth it to me. All right. Moving on, this page over here. If you are desperate for TCP, trading a few of your feathers and some EOD to get yourself some TCP is not a bad thing. Keep in mind, you can also craft for crystals, but I don't think this is worth it. If this was going to cost me maybe 15 crystals for 5 TCP, oh, I would do this every day. But that's because I'm a whale. If you're free to play, that's not what you should do, right? But moving on, the rest of this, I don't think it is worth it. Unless you're like in a rush and you're just really desperate and you're trying to like awaken the Blackwater characters, I guess you could come over here and you could do like a 5 for 15 conversion for Mandalay gem fragments and awaken crystals. But please, for the love of God, I am begging you. I'm literally begging you, and it's not even my materials. Please do not do this. Please do not do this. Please do not do this. Even though you can go up here and you can choose to use a different type of resource, please do not do this, my friends. It is so easy to farm CCF. Even on my free-to-play account, I've gotten over 1,500 CCF in a month. Believe me, you don't need to do this. This is a massive waste of resources, trading all of these awakened materials or tier 3 materials for 5 CCF. It's just not worth it, okay? As for consumable, I would not touch anything on this page. You can buy level 2 chips in the dispatch missions for gold, right? So you don't want to be spending your feathers, right? You can find them in here for gold, or let me see if I can refresh and find them. Okay, we got black antimatter, we buy that, right? But please do not touch anything on that page. It is not worth it. This is where you should be spending the majority of your time. I look forward to seeing what they do for the event page. It could be interesting. We'll see. Also, never forget you have this option available to you. Okay, hold on to your feathers as much as possible. Burn through as much of your m-chron crystals as you can afford to. But always keep in mind that mutant updates are basically the bread and butter of future fight. Nah, maybe they're not, but you get what I mean. When they drop mutant updates, they usually make a lot of money. So this feature right here, as good as it could be for us, it's even better for the future fight team, because if they catch us slipping and we burn all our mutant materials every single chance we get, when they drop mutant updates, people are going to be out of feathers, out of m-chron crystals, and scrambling to get more. And how do you get more? Well, you can play the game, you can play World Boss, but you can also buy them via the packs that no one buys anymore. So even the packs have gotten better now because of this new feature, right? Because of the fact that now you can craft cards using as many feathers and as many m-chron crystals as you got. You get what I'm saying, right? Everything mutant related has gotten better because of this new crafting system. So we're gonna wrap it up right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave me your thoughts in the comments. It is nice to see the direction that the game is going. I think it is healthy, I think it is positive, and I look forward to all of the changes that they bring to us in 2021. Amazing year so far, guys. You are absolutely killing it.